for a very special perspective of our Shamu family. It is a privilege to work alongside of these killer whales as trainers. We're part of a multifaceted Seaworld team that's responsible for the care, health, and well-being of these amazing animals. And you guys are going to get a chance to see just how we do that right now. This adult female up here with Jody, her name is Kayla, and she's 25 years old. So she's an adult, and she's not going to get any bigger than she is, and she just gave us a voluntary urine sample. We train these animals to give us voluntary urine samples, specifically the adult females. And the reason that that's important is because we can measure certain levels in that urine to make sure that not only are these animals healthy, but we can also test to see if the females are pregnant. We have the most successful breeding program in the entire world for killer whales. We have almost 30 killer whales born between all of our SeaWorld parks. Now this little girl in front of us here on the left-hand side with Ashley, this is Nalani. Nalani is 7 years old, and she was actually born right here at Seaworld, Orlando. Her little brother is joining her too. That's that little whale over near the stage area. His name is Makayo. Makayo is 3 years old. He's the youngest member of our Shamu family. And of course, their mom is right beside them. This is Katina. Katina is 38 years old, so she's the oldest member of our Shamu family. She's also the matriarch here at Seaworld Orlando, which means that anything she says goes. In a killer whale society, it's always the females who rule the pool. Now I was kind of introducing Kayla originally, and I showed you her across the pool and she gave a voluntary urine sample. That can be kind of a difficult behavior to train. After all, there's no way to tell an animal, like, we'd like to have a little bit of your urine, please. So we train them in that instead. And Nalani is learning that. She's a juvenile female, so she's going to double her size. And she's coming over here on the left-hand side with Jody now. So what Jody's going to do is she's going to show her that cup. She's going to ask her to slide up for her. And she's just going to wait to see if Nalani gives that voluntary urine sample. You can see the whistle that Jody has around her neck in her mouth. That's so that she's ready to blow that whistle the second that Nalani does something really great. People ask us what this whistle is all about, what's it for? That's a great question. Every time you hear us blow this whistle, it's us telling an animal, good job. Good boy, good girl, I'm so proud of you. Killer whales don't have the exact same type of hearing as you and I do. So instead of using the words, good boy or good girl, we use the whistles instead. And it says it's essentially the same thing. Now after we blow that whistle, there are lots of ways that we can reward these animals. What do you guys think killer whales want to be rewarded with? Fish! Good job, fish! We can definitely reward them with fish. Katina is the oldest animal in this pool. She goes all the way down on the right-hand side, giving you a beautiful look at how big she is, about 5,500 pounds. She eats about 150 pounds of fish every single day. And that's determined by our veterinarian based on how big she is, as well as how old she is, how many calories she needs per day to stay at a healthy weight. Here's the cool thing about Seaworld's training program. No matter what, Katina, Makayo, Nalani, and all of our other killer whales are always going to get all of their diet every single day to make sure that they are healthy. So there are other ways that we can reward these guys too, not just with fish. We can give them backgrounds, belly scratches, toys, ice, and even Jello. Yeah, Jello. Killer whales can get Jello. Is that the exact same type of Jello that you and I are used to? After all, it doesn't have any sugar or any flavor. We can keep it enjoy it because of the texture instead. Now, if you guys are listening to that whistle that was just being blown across the way, Makayo is learning a new behavior called back dive. It's kind of new for him. The first thing that we do when we're training the animals new behaviors is we teach them to touch their nose or rostrum with the palm of our hand. Then we can raise our hand up higher and higher. We can spin it around, but we're always following our hand. That's the foundation for everything that killer whales learn with us here at Seaworld. It's kind of like your ABCs. When you started off reading, you didn't start by learning how to read books or novels. You started learning your ABCs or alphabet. Then you build words, strung together sentences, and then you're reading whole books. Here's Nalani showing off her finished behavior called alien. Now obviously we were saying that they can touch the palm of our hand and rostrum our nose, but we can't reach all the way out to the middle of the pool. After all, our hands hands or arms are only so long. So we use target poles instead to help us out. And if you were watching that learning session with Mikhail, you're noticing that one of our trainers had a really long pole. That's a target pole with like a ball or buoy on the end of the pole. It represents the palm of our hand. You've also seen learning in this respect. This is called mimic behaviors. Holly turned around and continued to copy her. Ashley is stomping her feet, and then Lonnie is slapping her tail on the surface of the water. Killer whales learn through mimicry. We've learned a lot of things from our breeding program here at Seaworld that we could not have possibly learned just studying these animals out in their natural environment. And one of them is how they learn from each other. It's through mimicry or observational learning. So we'll watch an older or more experienced animal jump or spin or kick their tail up and down, and the younger ones will try to copy them. So they learn that way, and so do people. You might notice that kids that you know will play pretend or dress up or try to help with household chores because their moms or their parents or guardians are trying to do that. So they'll try to copy them too. Killer whales learn a lot of the same ways. Now we can communicate with these animals in a couple different ways. We already talked about the whistle. We can also talk with our hands too. Now Holly just asked Tina to do a behavior called alien. So she's going to jump up right in front of us over here in the middle of the pool. You want a picture of that? Point your cameras towards the right where Holly is. There she is. Now every time we do a hand signal that you guys see us doing with these animals, it's us asking a question. Do you mind doing an alien for us? Do you mind stomping your flukes on the top of the water? It's always a question, and they always have a right to decide whether or not they want to do that behavior that we're asking of them. If they don't, that's okay, and if they do, they get a huge party. There's lots of ways for us to communicate to the animals when they've done something really well. Sometimes you'll see us dancing with them, like this party that Ashley's having down here with Nalani. We can blow that whistle or bridge like we were describing before. We can even do a little bit of that, putting water on their backs. They have sensitive skin, so they can feel us splashing water up on them, or doing a little bit of tactile stimulation with our hands, or even loofahs sometimes too. Now, Holly touching Katina's glutes down here is really important as well. One of the ways that we care for these animals, we can also take voluntary blood samples too. And though killer whales don't have a crook of an elbow like we do, which is where we take blood from their flukes instead. So having us touch and rub down their flukes becomes something positive for them. We do need to have a blood sample taken for whatever reason, regular checkups for example. They're fine with allowing us to touch those flukes. That's part of training too, building that relationship. Now we hope you guys enjoyed this opportunity to learn more about killer whales. Remember that killer whales learn through observation, experience, and cooperation. So do we. So when others see you and me taking care of the environment, like picking up trash on the beach, they are inspired to start making positive choices too. Through Shamu, we learn that each of us, by those choices, can make a positive difference in caring for the natural world that we all share. If we all join together in cooperation, just like killer whales, we can work wonders, and the beauty of our oceans will continue to thrive.
Our 50th anniversary. The work going on here at the Shamu Stadium is just a part of what promises to be the most exciting era in Seaworld history. We hope that you join us again for the next amazing chapter in the Seaworld story. On behalf of all of us here at Shamu,
Shamu up close, including our entire Shamu family. We wish you a whale of a day, right here at Seaworld. Bye, everybody.
We invite you to join us now at Killer Whale underwater viewing for a different and truly incredible perspective. There, you'll learn even more about these animals and have the opportunity to view them from below the water. To access underwater viewing, simply exit this venue on the far left-hand side and join the queue that forms to the right. Thank you all for joining us and have a great day here at SeaWorld.